It won the highest honors in European cinema, and yet decades later, it triggered FBI raids in American suburbs. This isn't just a movie, it's The Tin Drum, a surreal tale of a boy who refuses to grow up during the rise of Nazism. And it became one of the most controversial banned films in US history. But why? And what really happened in that scene? Let's uncover the story. Directed by Volker Schlöndorff, The Tin Drum, 1979, is based on Günter Grass's Nobel Prize-winning novel. The lead role of Oskar Matzerath is played by David Bennett, who was just 11 years old during filming. Oskar is no ordinary child. At age 3, he decides to stop growing, using his tin drum and a piercing scream to protest the hypocrisy of adulthood and the madness of a world falling into fascism. The film blends dark historical satire, surrealism, and disturbing realism. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes and the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film in 1980. The film centers on Oskar Matzerath, a boy born and raised in the free city of Danzig prior to and during World War II, who recalls the story's events as an unreliable narrator. Oskar is the son of a half-Polish Kashubian woman, Agnes Bronski, who is married to a German chef named Alfred Matzerath. Agnes secretly carries on an affair with Jan, a Polish post office worker, and her cousin. Alfred and Jan are friends, and Alfred mostly acts willfully ignorant of his wife's infidelity. Oskar's parentage is uncertain, though he believes he is Jan's son. The film begins with Agnes's conception by Joseph Kalishek, a petty criminal in rural Kashubia, located in modern-day Poland. He hides underneath the skirts of a young woman named Anna Bronski and has sex with her, and she tries to hide her emotions as the troops searching for him pass close by. She later gives birth to Agnes. Joseph evades the authorities for a year, but when they find him again, he jumps into a lake and is never seen again. Oskar speculates that he either drowned or escaped to America and became a millionaire. In 1927, on Oskar's 3rd birthday, he is given a tin drum. Reflecting on the foolish antics of his drunken parents and friends, he resolves to stop growing and throws himself down the cellar stairs. From that day on, he does not grow at all. Oskar discovers he can shatter glass with his voice, an ability he often uses when he is upset. On one occasion, he uses his drumming to cause the attendants of a Nazi rally to start dancing a waltz. During a visit to the circus, Oskar befriends Barbara, a performing dwarf who chose to stop growing at age 10. When Alfred, Agnes, Jan, and Oskar are on an outing to the beach, they see an eel picker collecting eels from a horse's head used as bait. The sight makes Agnes vomit repeatedly. Alfred buys some of the eels and prepares them for dinner that night. When he insists that Agnes eat them, she becomes distraught and retreats to the bedroom. Jan enters and comforts her, all within earshot of Oskar, who is hiding in the closet. She calmly returns to the dinner table and eats the eels. Over the next few days, she binges on fish. Oskar's grandmother helps reveal that Agnes is worried her pregnancy is due to her relations with Jan. In anger, Agnes vows that the child will never be born. She dies shortly thereafter, seemingly from accumulated stress. At the funeral, Oskar encounters Sigismund Marcus, the kindly Jewish toy seller who supplies him with replacement drums, and who was also in love with Agnes. Marcus is ordered by 2 of the mourners to leave because he is Jewish. Nazism is on the rise, and the Jewish and Polish residents of Danzig are under increasing pressure. Marcus later commits suicide after his shop is vandalized and a synagogue is burned down by SA men. On the 1st of September 1939, Oskar and Jan go looking for Kobiela, who can repair Oskar's drum. Jan slips into the Polish post office, despite a Nazi cordon, and participates in an armed standoff against the Nazis. During the ensuing battle, Kobiela is fatally shot, and Jan is wounded. They play scat until Kobiela dies, and the Germans capture the building. Oskar is taken home, while Jan is arrested and later executed. Alfred hires Maria, a 16-year-old German girl, to work in his shop, and Oskar seduces her. When he later discovers Alfred having sex with her, he bursts into the room and makes Alfred ejaculate inside her when he was expected to pull out to avoid getting her pregnant, causing Maria to become angry at Alfred when he blames Oskar for the inadvertent insemination. While rinsing her vagina in an attempt to remove the deposited semen, Maria and Oskar fight, and he hits her in the groin. She later gives birth to a son, who Oskar is convinced is his. Oskar also has a brief sexual relationship with Lena Greff, the wife of the local grocer and scoutmaster. It is implied that Lena was sexually frustrated, as her husband preferred to spend more time with the Hitler Youth Boys. Lena's husband later commits suicide after a neighbor catches him playing with those boys and reports him to the Nazi authorities. During World War II, Oskar meets Barbara and Roswitha, another dwarf performer in Barbara's successful troupe. Oskar decides to join them, using his glass-shattering voice as part of the act. Oskar and Roswitha have an affair, but she is killed by artillery fire during the Allied invasion of Normandy while they are on tour. Oskar returns home. Much of Danzig has been destroyed, and the Russians are fast approaching. He gives Maria's 3-year-old son, Kurt, a tin drum like his own. Some Russian soldiers break into the cellar where Oskar's family and Lena are hiding. They gang rape Lena, and Alfred is killed by a soldier after he swallows and chokes violently on his Nazi party pin, apparently betrayed by Oskar. Alfred's shop is taken over by Mariusz Feingold, a Jewish survivor of Treblinka, who arranges a modest funeral for Alfred. During Alfred's burial, Oskar decides to grow up and throws his drum into the grave. As he does, Kurt throws a stone at his head, causing Oskar to fall into the grave as well. Afterwards, an attendee announces that Oskar is growing again, though he is severely injured. Oskar, Maria, and Kurt leave for Germany, but his grandmother stays in Poland. Nearly 2 decades later, in 1997, a moral firestorm erupted in Oklahoma City, USA. A single complaint claimed that a scene in the Tin Drum violated child pornography laws. That scene, featuring the young actor in an implied sexual interaction with an adult actress, was interpreted by local authorities as criminal. What followed was unprecedented. FBI agents raided homes and video stores, confiscated copies of the film, and even prosecuted people for owning or renting it. Critics called it a witch hunt, an assault on artistic freedom. Legal experts argued that the scene, while provocative, did not meet the legal definition of child pornography. Eventually, after drawn-out court battles, the film was cleared of wrongdoing. The ban was overturned, but the damage was already done. The ordeal had terrified collectors and censored an Oscar-winning film. Today, the Tin Drum is remembered as a landmark in world cinema. It's studied for its powerful symbolism and unique portrayal of World War II-era Germany. But it's also a cautionary tale of how art and morality laws can violently collide. David Bennett, who played Oskar, went on to act in many films, but he has since reflected on the controversy with caution and silence. The director, Schlöndorff, defended his work to the end, calling the bans a tragic misunderstanding of cinema. So, was the Tin Drum too bold for its time? Or was it a victim of cultural overreach? One thing's clear. A film that dared to challenge the horrors of war and fascism was nearly silenced in the land of the free. If you want more deep dives into banned films that shook the world, follow or subscribe to the channel, because some stories were never meant to be buried.